DLS Wave, we're back again. My two lovely gentlemen on my left, on my right. But we do need to acknowledge the fact that you guys are showing us a lot of love. We've hit, 900 subs, and we really, really do appreciate it. So from the bottom of our hearts, he's got no heart, but we do. Thank you very much. All right, so today we are back again. A new topic, new episode. What do we have for you today? Now, there are a lot of people who like to gossip a lot, right? Not just gossip, talk about a lot other people, right? Do you do that? Do you gossip?
No, never in my life.
You do gossip?
I do sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Everybody gossips. All right, so one of the aspiring independent presidential candidates in Ghana, he had this communicator. Right now, what do communicators do? They have to go in and promote their bosses. But instead of talking about his boss, he decided to talk about the opponent, right? Which really backfired big time, because now people are asking him what his role is. So from DLS Wave. All right, today's video, right? So we're going to look at this guy who was trying to promote his boss again at a radio studio, right? A nice setup. Brought in for an interview. He's supposed to be talking about his boss, his vision for the country, to align it with the people's vision and then get him the votes he deserves. But instead, he decided to do what? Talk about his opposition, who is Cheddar. So the question is why is everybody so fixated with Cheddar? That's the question that comes to mind.
I think Cheddar he's a new force.
New force. That's exactly how he describes himself.
He's a new force, and I think that's a description of himself and his party, not party, but his movement. It's very fitting. Yeah. It's very apt. I think everybody's fixated on Cheddar because within a short time, Ghana, throughout our history, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've not had any independent candidate who's announced his candidacy and has risen to the level that Cheddar has got into in a relatively short time. Let's say a year, for example, but I think it's not even up to a year. And he's been campaigning vigorously for the last 3-4 months. And if you look at how he's penetrating the local communities, he's going around the country, going to local communities, going to the level of... So I think with all that he's doing, all the other opponents are seeing that, hey, this guy, we got to watch out because he's putting his face out there. He's doing what we don't do. I mean, there are people who are capable of doing what Cheddar is doing. Kyerematens, I think he's wealthy enough to be able to do that. What's the name? Hassan Ayerga. He's also a wealthy guy. He could do what Cheddar is doing, but on the
lack of political will, just like Hubert Bailey.
Most of them are just sitting in Accra and making statements, and even if they do go to the local communities, they end up in the regional capital or district capital. But Cheddar is going to every constituency. That is a lot. So I think that's why they see him as they see him as a threat. They really do.
Why the fixation? Why is everybody fixated with Cheddar instead of focusing on what they need to do to kind of garner the masses to get their votes? Everybody's talking about Cheddar.
Two things. He's a threat. And then he's new. Threat because when you look at the messages all the political parties are going out dishing, right? He sounds more laudable.
And practical.
And it's new.
Right?
Like you said, we've not really seen something like that before. And then him being new, a lot of they kind of underestimated his will to get things done. So now he's like all over the place, and they are like, no, you cannot just come in within the shortest possible time and have that kind of impact.
I'm sure in their own rooms they're like, how quiver how do you?
No, he's really his weights about because he thinks he's rich. Now this brings back memories, right? I think I watched a video online last month with TikTok. We all know Tick, right? The rapper, right? The same thing. He went to a studio. He was supposed to be talking about his upcoming album, his music video, and he had this altercation with this hostess. It was a lady, and I was supposed to focus on the guy's music and his upcoming music video. He was actually talking about his beef with Shatta Wale, and when that chatter was ongoing, Shatta's music was being played in the background. So Tick obviously got pissed off, right? He walked upset.
And we have a lot of them. We're showing your video.
We can't be showing Shatta's video while I'm here talking about him. I didn't come here to promote Shatta Wale.
Okay, well, listen, I apologize greatly for this. We're going to return with more. You're still watching GH Today Live on GH.
So I feel like this is one of the situations you can kind of like, correlate with that story. So now we're going to unpack the whole thing. Now, he says something about the youth being what? Delusional.
Especially Gen Z. And Gen Z for normal drink, they are delusional.
So now we're going to look at the definition of delusional. So the word delusional literally means it's characterized by holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, which literally means typically as a symptom of what? Mental condition. It's like you believe in things that do not really exist. You do not live in reality. So that's what he was trying to say. So the next question on my mind is, do you believe Gen Z, right? Gen Z, which are people between the ages, I mean, they were born between like, mid-90s and 2010s, stuff like that. So let's say 25 to 35 years old. He said people of that age, range are delusional. They're not linked or in sync with reality.
There's this particular problem with Ghana or Ghanaians in general. Sometimes, just because we think we've gone to school, we use the English the way we anyway.
I'm sure even if you ask him, he can't tell you the exact meaning.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he has heard it. When maybe somebody says something you don't agree with, then it means the person is delusional. But it is not like that. You understand? He can, I always leave room for people to actually have their opinions and make their own mistakes, because that is what we're doing. But don't kind of generalize things just because you don't agree with the person's opinion. And that has been when it comes to some of our journalists and our people, like going on radios and trying to educate, they tend to
ostracize the youth, right?
Yeah, exactly. You understand? Because I don't understand where the delusional is coming from.
I think it's just pure political talk to score political points. Because if he really knows what the word means, then he's used it on purpose to score political points, to try to draw the minds of the youth away from Cheddar. Because if you look at the political scene now, who is following Cheddar? The youth. And everybody is trying to campaign to champion the cause of the youth. So if he's the one who is raking in the support of the youth, then, like we said before, he's seen as a threat. That is why I think if he knows what delusional means, he's trying to hit hard on the youth. But then using it will backfire as it has, because then the youth of today are not the youth of
yesterday.
Yesterday, like our parents' times. Those times, there was no social media. People were not traveling.
You have to read the newspaper.
Yes, you were myopic. Whatever the government told you, what you believe. But now every individual is a journalist. I can take my phone out now and report something and send it throughout the world. So the youth now are more tech savvy. They see things happening every day. They are traveling to other places. They have friends who are from different countries. So people know what is going on in the world. So if someone comes and he's telling them what is possible, they already know. So it's easy to sway them. So if you are saying this, I don't know if he's done his homework well, because if you're talking about the youth of today, then you're making your case worse, because they know why they are following Cheddar. Because they know that it's possible.
All right. So for you viewers out there who are a bit lost with the conversation and who might be a bit discombobulated, because today we're using all this. Big words, so to speak. So here we're gonna cut to the video.
To the youth, not Cheddar, you are banana. Gen Z, if we walk cutting.
And they, as I'm saying, the Rolls Royce, BC out him so, Menana. Menana. Or the Rolls Royce, be Choma, who don't know about 2 DH. Ma, Safo can tank a métier, Menkofa Bentley, NC Quine, Mubo, who don't know about 2 DH. And non say, almost message and now or assembly or can almost say no. People are following Cheddar because, especially Gen Z, and Gen Z for normal drink, they are delusional. They aspire that actually be honestly be Rolls Royce and teacher they treat Rolls Royce they can relate.
Gen Z for only a delusional. Sabra for say.
No, and yet dumb. I say some attachment.
They live in a utopia world.
Thank you.
They are not in reality.
Because really, frankly speaking, I don't know, Obi Shantadi, who be Obi Kofa trailer, no, a painting a Ghana color, no, the Nama Bonting, and it's also obey to me the president. Then, frankly, Misuma Ghana. It's in a message to make us say election way a better see a resolve for change. Say a friend Sakai or a brabum. And I pedada and I the near media because Osha America near my Akosia. Let me give you an example. Abana CNN, MSCBN or say Omoye propaganda ABC News, Etia Trump, so blacks, or recognize statistics, blacks at Toma Trump no. Because he was touching on issues that never bother Abaya bet what are the issues? The issues are edda a passes in Ghana. Economy, I say, and Anjuma and
So now, yeah, we saw the video. Let's go to the breakdown. So he said the youth are delusional, right? Because Cheddar is rich, he's flamboyant, he's kind of like, opulent with his wealth. This is why the youth are kind of like, they feel attracted to him and they feel like they can relate because they also see themselves as, acquiring all these things that Cheddar has. So do you think that is the case? Do people follow Cheddar or does the youth follow him because of his money?
So far in Cheddar's campaign, I haven't seen him, well, maybe displaying
yeah.
first of all, and secondly, the message that he's putting out there is industrializing and creating jobs. I don't see how that is an opulent display of his wealth or he being flamboyant. He's not talking about himself. He's just saying that I will create jobs to make you successful. I'll create opportunities for you to be successful. That is, I don't think it's in any way describing him as saying that I'll teach you how to make money. There's nothing wrong with teaching someone how to make money anyways, but so far in his campaign, he's not talking about himself. He's talking about industrializing the country in every aspect to create opportunities for young people. So if you say that message is putting out there is him being opulent and flamboyant, it doesn't match because that's not what we are seeing on the ground. That's not what he's campaigning on.
And let me add to what you just said. You see, Ghana, we are good with tags.
Label, right?
Yes, they will label you like, I think because of our education. Because we've labeled all the parts of the animals in the world. So watch it. If they don't have anything proper
against you,
or any good question to ask you, they tag you. And that is what they're trying to do with Cheddar.
Right.
I always say this: you have the right to pick a candidate. It is your personal decision. But don't tag him. If you don't understand, ask someone. Let somebody explain what he means by I would move the sea from one place to another. Ask someone, if he says he will industrialize the country, how is it going to be done? If you don't understand, get it. But don't tag him that he's being flamboyant, he's being cocky, he's being that. You understand? Sometimes they sit on radio and they talk as if they are zooted, right? Way zooted. And you ask yourself, you have an opportunity to educate the public on policies from all the political parties, so the people will be informed to make an informed decision again. But you are rather the one inciting them, calling them names. For what purpose?
Yeah, but this is why sometimes I do have problems with this, like you said, so-called journalists who are supposed to know better, right? Because you should be asking the guy to literally explain what he means, because he's supposed to be literally attacking the guy's policies, right? This policy doesn't make sense. Ghana is not ready to achieve this policy. Okay, Pillar 3, it's not feasible. Attack the policies of the guy, not his personality. I'm saying this because I don't know if you guys saw the video. He was saying stuff like Oshentari. He wears scary clothing and outfit. What does Cherry wear that is so ridiculously
Again, that has been
my point is just too personal.
No, I get it, but that has been our body politics. Have you seen? Listen, but a few programs. Have you actually listened to? I don't listen to the radio, but sometimes you chance on videos where people are talking about politics, and you ask yourself, is it the same country that we know things are not going well they're talking about? And that is the problem we have. And we have all these people on I'm all for giving opportunities, but you give opportunities to people that will impact life, right? Help educate the next generation. But if such a person is sitting down and instead of attacking or discussing the person's policies, you are talking about the clothes he's wearing.
But again, there's something called fashion, right? I've been through Cheddar's like IG for like, you know, for a while, and I don't see anything.
But what does Cheddar's suit have to do for me? I need a sofa in my home. I need water to drink. I need electricity. But my current what do you call it? Prepaid meter is chopping my money anyhow. You understand?
But even when he says I don't know what sort of mentality he's talking about.
But that's my point.
The only clothes I've seen Cheddar wearing, suits, which is regular. Then he wears all these traditional Agbada things.
But that's recently though. But if you go to his IG, that was like way before he started campaigning. He was like pretty flamboyant. But that was like I said, he was a young guy who's making a lot of money, and it's Instagram. That's what Instagram is for.
The thing I don't get it, was he walking naked? That's what I don't get.
It seems like sheer jealousy, sheer envy.
Exactly.
My point is, this is what I'm saying. I have a problem with the journalist, with the interviewer, right? You should be asking a follow-up question. It's like, can you kind of like, you know, literally tell us about things that he's been saying that does not align with the country's, you know, dream and visions or whatever developmental strategic
challenge him on policies or things he has said on the platform.
That's what I'm saying.
Why do you say this? Why?
So if FIFA, okay, teacher being the, you know, professional in that scenario, why didn't he just ask him questions pertaining to policies?
I think at the point when he used the word delusional, he asked him if he really understands the meaning of the word delusional.
And the guy said, he also chipped him saying, oh, yeah, you mean they're living like a utopian world. But it's like everybody knows what utopia means. But the point is, that's not the point. If you want to challenge somebody, like you said, it's a platform to give people, like, you know, information that will help them decide on who to vote for, right? If you're there to promote your boss, who is what? Alan Kyerematen. But you were not saying anything about your boss.
Exactly.
His policies, his strategies, but you focused on Cheddar.
Can we all agree on one thing, right? Cheddar is a threat.
Oh, he is.
No doubt.
And in our body politics, politics in general, all around the world, they go for you, right? They will come for you. But when you listen to other countries' like politics, yes, they are coming for you, but they are coming with facts, right? But ours is like Charlie Buga Bugai.
No, because do you remember some time ago?
No.
Like, Cheddar has got like a pending arrest warrant in the UK.
Yeah.
And then he went to the UK,
the Parliament,
right?
Yeah.
And the guy came back, but nobody was saying, okay, see, he did not get arrested, right?
Then he will not be arrested if he had some charges.
But that's what I'm saying. People just talk a lot. So another thing I want to pinpoint is, he was saying, just because you have like a trailer and it's painted with the national colors, doesn't mean you can become president.
Yeah, that was like...
I do not get the concept.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the point?
If you ask me, I think it's even better than setting a campaign podium and gathering people, taking people out of work and talking to them for hours on end. I mean, he's really showing how patriotic, right from the campaign trail, he's showing how patriotic. And I think there were significances to how he appeared when he launched his 12
pillar,
12 pillars. I mean, he came in with a track. I think it was symbolic. He was talking about, I think it was an industrialization sort of vibe he was trying to give, that it's not going to be luxury cars. We're going to work in machines, trucks, you know. I think it was a message. It wasn't just to show that, okay, I can come in a truck. No. And even if you look at like his campaign, he's going with like 3 SUVs, which are his personal cars, with a bus, which is carrying all his people, and a truck, supplies. I mean, who is in Ghana is campaigning like that? They are going with like hundreds of SUVs that cost $250 million.
And that is why they don't want to highlight him.
Exactly.
But that is why they don't want to highlight.
Cheddar never came out and said, guys, look at my trailers, look at my SUVs, look at my houses, so vote for me.
No, but like I said,
he said, look at my policy. This is my vision, right?
No, they are not looking at the vision. They tag you.
I'm not pay you nothing, right? People are even saying Cheddar is like a cheapskate. He does not really kind of like, you know, just throw money.
And I like that fact about him. He's staying the course. He's not giving anybody nothing.
Because, and that is why they will tag you. That is why they go around tagging him, because they actually, you know, you look at him and you cannot fault him. Right? You kind of admire what he's doing, because if all the political parties would have that kind of energy visit all the 276 wherever
constituents,
and you see what is on the ground. And you're willing, you're telling us your vision on how to solve those problems within the next 4 years or 5 or 8 years. This, our political season now will be very interesting, and a lot of people will have choices to make. You understand?
This is the thing. Isn't that what this local communicator was supposed to be doing in that studio at that particular time? Talking about policies that's going to help people and strategies that Alan Kyerematen has got. But if talking about Cheddar's clothing,
yes, if you come out, if you're coming from an environment where all you know
is konkonza,
is thank you,
that's the
destroy before you get to know the person. Destroy before you get to understand the policies and how it can be done, because other countries, it has been done in other countries 40, 50 years ago, 100 years ago.
Right.
But you don't want to know, because I don't want to allege anything big, but because you favor a certain political party, so you have to kind of
it's fine to favor the other political party, but you have, like I said, tell us why you favor it. Tell people why. This is why you guys got to go out in droves and vote for this.
And that is why.
But you're not doing that. You're just bringing somebody down. And we all know there's a saying. I like this saying. Sorry to cut you off, but it's like when somebody wants to bring you down, it means you are above.
Yes, it's true.
So you kind of show your pettiness, sitting there talking about somebody's clothing, their trailer, just because of this, you think you can be a president.
I also just want to add that, I mean, if another reason I think he was rather talking about Cheddar than his party is the work that Cheddar is doing on the ground, they haven't been able to do it. So they really have no message. And what Cheddar is doing now is actually very dangerous for anyone who wins power, because he's going into the interior and showing the poverty level, the level of
neglect.
Exactly, that's the word, in the country. So now, even if Cheddar doesn't win, anyone who comes to power, he's already put the videos out there.
Yeah.
Next time when he comes to campaign, it's so easy.
Yeah.
You just bring up these videos and say, this is how we campaign. This was
4 years ago.
4 years ago. And the condition of the people hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So I think basically they just haven't done as much work as he has done. And so if you don't find a way to discredit him, he's coming out with visuals with the real.
But how can they? Sorry,
right?
how can they do the kind of work he has done already when you have journalists protecting them, right? And rather, instead of exposing them, trying to shit on somebody who is actually exposing them. How can they?
That's the word you discredit. But you also mentioned one thing about facts, right?
Yeah.
So you discredit people by giving facts.
Yep.
But Cheddar never said, hey, look at my trailer, so vote. He didn't say, go to my Instagram and look at my clothing, vote for me.
Yeah.
He said, look at my vision. Look at my dreams.
The vision is what they don't want to look.
Yeah, look at my business acumen, right? He said, look at all these. Because of these things, I think I'm the right one to lead the country. That's what he's saying.
The thing is, what he's doing is very expensive. There are other politicians, aspirants who have the money to do what he's doing. But like I always say, they're sitting in Accra and Kumasi and making all the noise.
With all these convoys.
All the convoys. I mean, it's different what he's doing. I mean, someone of his pedigree and wealth, he shouldn't be in those places.
Yes.
He's going and sleeping in like small towns just so he can be with the people and see what is happening. And he said it.
But isn't that the definition of a true leader?
Exactly. Right? He said it, that what I'm doing is actually opening my eyes. He said he had never been around the country, but he's surprised at the level of poverty. Even when he started this journey, he didn't know it would be this bad. Now he's going on the ground. He's seeing it with his own eyes. And he said that every leader, not just me, any leader who is aspiring for presidency should take this same route and see the people down there, what they are feeling.
So I think the guy is like a walking contradiction, because he said, this election is going to do what? It's going to pretty much show people's resolve, or the country's resolve, because there are two main things the country is struggling with, which is social problems and the economy, lack of jobs, stuff like that. So my question is, his boss, Alan Kyerematen, he's been in the political sphere since 1992.
Yeah.
What did he do to help resolve these issues? And now you're coming out to say, we got to vote for Alan.
According to Alan, I listened to an interview a couple of days ago, and he was actually going after, he had a little issue with the ex-president Kufuor.
Yeah.
And he made mention that even under Kufuor's government, he contributed 75%. Yeah, 75% of policies and whatever. He was the one championing those things. Cool. You can take those credit.
Mm-hmm.
Even Kufuor can come out and support you. But that kind of message, right? What your work you've done before, this your spokespeople, they should be going out, not attacking other people, but reinforcing and maybe that's the main reason why you left your beloved political party and you went independent, because you feel you can do things all by yourself. This is a job. I think being a communicator is one of the most easiest jobs if you have facts.
Exactly, if you have facts.
And then if you have strong policies,
no one can dispute them.
Nobody can dispute them. But because most of them, they maybe they do have the facts, but our political scene has been more of, like I said, create buga, destroy people, tarnish their image. When the election is finished, oh Charlie, it'll be election, then it's over.
Right.
That kind of politics needs to change in our body politics in Ghana.
Right.
And the only way it can change is through good questioning from our
so-called journalists.
Yes.
Right.
And until we do that...
Yeah, but those journalists are all in the pockets of the politicians. So, all right, so that's our breakdown for today, unless anybody's got something else to add.
No.
All right, so you guys could be anywhere doing whatever you want, but you decided to join us and watch our BS, and for that we do appreciate it. Now, if you want to know what we've been talking about, I mean, in relation with Cheddar, right? We're going to leave a link up there. Check out a video that we did about Cheddar, and you will understand why we think this guy is the right guy to vote for. So to the next episode, DLS out.
Peace.